Good evening. This is CTV News for Thursday, March 7th. I'm Janine Samuels.
And I'm Melissa Wright. Thank you for joining us. A county police officer is facing legal trouble tonight. Officer Stephen Downey has been indicted for excessive force. The charges stem from an incident at a CVS pharmacy in Temple Hills last October. State's Attorney Asia Braveboy outlined the charges this afternoon.
Corporal Downey responded to a call for service at CVS Pharmacy in Temple Hills, Maryland. Corporal Downey encountered an individual who was placed in handcuffs in the front seat of a police cruiser, and he was secured in a seatbelt. Subsequently, Corporal Downey punched the individual in custody numerous times in the face. Corporal Downey has been charged with second-degree assault and misconduct in office.
I do want to emphasize that this is the second time during my administration that officer's peers are the ones who reported the misconduct. Again, that's important to me because it's about a healthy culture of accountability in professional policing. A healthy culture of accountability in policing means that the peers to each officer feel empowered to make reports knowing that those allegations will be taken seriously.
In an unrelated case, later tonight, police will announce the arrest of the top 10 fugitive wanted by the FBI. Details coming up tomorrow.
A controversial bill that would allow a terminally ill person to seek aid to end his or her life passes in the House of Delegates. The House today voted 74 to 66 to adopt the End of Life Option Act. It would allow persons with less than 6 months to live receive prescriptions for life-ending drugs. Opponents say they are worried about how the bill would affect people living in poverty.
We know that in certain communities of poverty, only 5% of people have access to pain management at the end of their life and hospice care, where in my community it's over 80%. So, I'd hate to see that this be what people are kind of forced to do.
I think that in 5 years, people have experienced someone they love and understand that this might possibly be an option to help ease suffering for someone. And so people have come to understand the value.
As a Maryland resident, I have watched too many people suffer at the end of life who are already going to die, and this option will bring them compassion and peace of mind.
The bill will now go to the Senate.
Caregivers and researchers testify on behalf of a bill that would establish an insurance program for family and medical leave. Under the program, employees would be allowed to take up to 12 weeks of partial paid leave from their jobs to care for themselves, new children, or family members with serious health conditions. Advocates of the measure came out to the Senate Finance Committee this afternoon to support the measure.
I had some life-threatening surgery that had to be done and a few years ago, and so I was going back and forth to the doctors, back and forth to the hospital. I had a long recovery period after I got out of the hospital. My daughter was able to be with me because where she worked, she was able to take the time off to be with me and sit with me and take me where I needed to go. She also has a family, and they have their financial burdens that they have to take care of. And I had a relapse last year, and she was able to do this again for me because of where she worked. But not every Marylander has this opportunity. She was lucky. I was lucky.
And this is something you are hoping everybody would be able to have.
I really would like every Marylander to be able to have this, because when it's a time of need, when a family member needs it, they should not have to make that choice between going to work and taking care of their loved ones.
The bill SB 500 is known as the Time to Care Act. It's also been cross-filed in the House.
Elevated lead levels found in water at hundreds of Maryland schools prompts lawmakers to expand a 2017 law that mandates statewide testing. House Bill 1253 would lower acceptable levels from 20 parts per billion to no more than 5 parts per billion, the current FDA's limit for lead in bottled water. The legislation would also give schools grants to reduce exposure to lead from drinking fountains.